Have you ever sat in an ayahuasca ceremony and had your third eye blown open and be a part of what we call the ayahuasca grid? This tapestry I'm sitting on back here, this is the grid that I'm speaking of. It is the language of ayahuasca. The grid is a really big deal. That's why you see it in Shipibo tapestries and other traditions. It is like a language. And for some of us, myself included, it can take years and years not only to start seeing and sort of working with the grid, but understanding what is being communicated. The grid is activated by the Icaros, the songs, the sacred songs and medicine songs that we sing. Some of them sing directly to the reweaving of the energy of that grid. And so what the grid shows us, it shows us so much, but in essence, what it shows us is the energy, the life force, the vitality of a space, of an individual. We can see people's grids. We can see the grid of a specific part of the body or an organ. I mean, the grid can be worked with in the minutia or the macro. I can work with the grid of the space, the physical space. I can work with the grid of a spiritual being. I can work with my own personal grid. Like it can be sliced and diced however it is that we want to focus, and be very specific or be very broad. The grid is multicolored, you know, and it shows us where there is distress. Basically what I look for in the grid, especially if I'm getting to do a doctoring or a limpia on an individual in ceremony, is I'm looking for chunks of the grid that are distorted, that are blacked out, that are disconnected, as it were. And then what we learn a lot of times in the training is to sing directly to the grid of the individual, but specifically where there seems to be trauma. And we use the power of the medicine, the power of the Icaros, the power of our intention, the power of the individual's willingness to see and feel and process and heal. And all of that together can create the magic of reweaving. And so what I often get to witness is these parts that have been shut down in darkness, they can come alive. The colors start to come back. You can see the connection of the grid once more, and it's just this incredibly magical process. So ayahuasca is communicating in all kinds of ways through this grid. It is essentially her language. So she shows me the power of the songs when I sing a certain song and how the space changes. She shows me through the grid sometimes when someone needs help purging, when something is right there and it's about to come up, but they need a little help, so I can lean in and sing and help move the energy. She shows me all kinds of mysteries and magic through the energy, the colors, the vibration, how the grid feels. And like I said, I'm just a student in my infancy in some ways, learning what is being communicated. But you know, if you're a student of ayahuasca and you're passionate about who she is, you gotta learn about the grid. So hopefully this inspires some wanting to cultivate a deeper relationship with it, and not just seeing it as just lines, but as life force and as communications. Thank you, as always, for listening. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'd be honored to have you in our plant medicine family. I'll see you next time. Much love.